live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Hey, hey, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, 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 we going. Yeah, 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 we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
All right, so it looks like Lou is not the only one who fancies strip clubs in the NBA.
Oh no! Remember, it's lemon pepper wings. What are you talking about?
Lemon pepper Lou.
The wings must be amazing. I'm going to a strip club as soon as I can because
apparently
the wings are amazing. Because it's some more people who just couldn't stay away from the strip club, and listen, it's about the wings, not the women, right?
I'm gonna be real. If you have a crab cake from Stadium, the place that one of the guys that we're about to talk about went, it might make you want to go in there and just have a little bit of dinner and go home.
I'm gonna sit all the way in the back of the place. Look, can I sit all the way?
Oh no, they actually have a area, just a seating area. And you can still kind of see
I don't
a little
really
bit,
have
but
to watch.
You don't even have to watch.
I don't have to watch.
That's awesome. You are nowhere near it.
That's awesome. All the way on the that would be the place I need to go if I gotta go eat the food, because I'm really not trying to eat while somebody's tail shaking in front of me. So,
man.
Just saying.
No comment. I've done it.
You digressed on that one, Jarrett. You digressed on that one. We're gonna just let that
digress.
Go. Yes. Anyway, yes.
So, I don't understand it. And my thing is, at this point, especially with James Harden, it just feels like selfishness. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, you're having a tantrum like a child. Yes. You're acting like a child. It's almost like I feel like his was purposeful. So we always start talking and never. So what we're talking about is the foolishness that in the last 4 or 5 days, we have seen one NFL player, Dwayne Haskins, who is a quarterback for the Washington football team, and James Harden, who is still a rocket for the moment, but is trying to make his way out of Houston. Both have been fined, and James Harden has actually been put out. Because they have both found it necessary to go to the strip club in the middle of the season. Not even the middle of the season, but in the season. While the season is still going on, you are putting your teammates in danger over booty.
Yeah.
I don't know another way to put it. I don't know another way to put it.
It's especially, I think that with Dwayne Haskins, I don't know that I feel like it's willfully ignorant with him.
Yeah, no, that baby just young and don't know he don't know how to, again, though, that's why y'all need a feel to the real.
Exactly.
In these schools, we would be helping them to understand how to make better decisions at this point. That's real talk. Right. That's a shameless plug, but it's a real plug.
No, right, I would say it's real.
He wouldn't be in this situation right now, I promise you. I mean, he still could, but he'd have no excuse to be. It wouldn't be willful ignorance, is what I'm saying.
Right.
It'll just be plain old ignorant.
Yeah. Well, that's how I feel about James Harden. This is just ignorant. Not even ignorant. It's intentional. You're doing this intentionally to force a trade.
Absolutely.
And I just don't understand, let's be professional. Shout out to our first episode.
The tantrums is just too much for me.
Yeah.
The tantrums is too much for me. I get it. You don't want to be there. You have made that abundantly clear. But going out, so what does this do for another team? Is this really going to make them say, we want this dude on our team? He's not about team. That's what I would say. Well, he's not about team. So I don't really want him on my team. Well, what coach wants to take on this? You dummy. That's what Ryan Clark said about it. Stop being a dummy. About Dwayne Haskins. But he was don't be a dummy. Come on. Fred Sanford said it best. You big dummy.
it's funny, man. We know that I'm a fan of Washington football team when I'm not rooting for the Seahawks.
Don't do
even
that.
though I must say, I was a little disappointed the other day that Washington football team lost.
Lost to the Seahawks?
Yeah, it's kind of, you can see where my loyalty lies. Because I felt like it was a joke, not just to the team, but to the city.
I text you like, now what are you doing today?
Right.
They playing each other.
I was like, I'm gonna be fine with whoever wins.
Right.
Nah.
Right.
I'm rooting for the Seahawks when they're not playing the Washington football team.
Okay.
But what it's gonna force Houston to do is they're gonna have to make the tough decision of either saying, let's just pay James Harden to go home for a little bit because we're not trading him for nothing, or, and one important part about that is, if we send him home and he doesn't play at all this season, and he doesn't play by the book, you don't get this season under your belt. This doesn't count towards your contract going out. When you start next season, you'll still have 2 more years with the Houston Rockets. Right. So it's not like a Le'Veon Bell situation where you can go sit out and say, well, trade.
I'll just wait y'all out. Right.
Right. Yeah. You're not waiting them out with the way that NBA contracts are constructed. Or the other thing that they're going to have to do is they'll have to trade him for significantly less than they probably could.
To get him off my hands, if I'm the coach, I'm like, y'all do what y'all need to do. He can't sit on my team. That's all I can say.
I would have to go with the former. Like I would prefer to pay him whatever he's supposed to make this year, whether that's 40 something million. Pay him, stay at home, and don't be a disruption to us.
That's it.
But what I'm not going to do is give you away for nothing. I cannot as a franchise afford.
No, that's true. From a business standpoint, it would be bad ROI.
Like that's pennies on the dollar to give somebody James Harden
for nothing. It's the DeAndre Hopkins thing.
Yes.
Like that was the dumbest move ever. So you just you out of your emotions. I get it. Like you can't operate. Although I would really want to, you can't operate out of your emotions. You got to have a smart sense of how you go about it. Right. I get it. And I just want, I'm gonna pay you to shut up and sit down first. Yeah.
You go home. Go ahead home and train like you said you was doing.
You need to. Have you seen him?
Yeah. That's what I was alluding to, but I wasn't gonna say it.
You done had too many of them Blue Wheel lemon pepper wings.
Oh man, no. Go ahead and train with your trainers that you was training with in Vegas and Atlanta.
Listen,
and do
stay
it like
out the strip club, sir.
Yeah,
stay out the strip club. You can go to strip club if that's what you want to do. If you just gonna sit at home, that's your business at that point. Right. But like. It's just not, it doesn't look good. That's all. Right. For either one of them, willful ignorance on Dwayne Haskins' part or not, it does not look good. You are looking selfish because you are not thinking about the greater good for all people who have to come in contact with you. Right. And that's just not fair. It's not, I get it. I know listen, the entire country feels you on being tired of not being able to do what we want to do.
Right. Yeah.
You think we all want to just be like we are right now? Like I would be in Atlanta right now. If I could. But I can't because I'm going to think not just about myself, but about other people.
Right.
It just makes no sense. So both of y'all. And so I think he got fined 50 and Dwayne Haskins got fined 40. He got suspended. Well, he's like suspended essentially, and Dwayne Haskins got his captain status taken away. Which I don't really know why you were a captain. Shut up, Stephanie.
Oh no! Listen, you said it, but that look I was just giving you was really he was a captain, really?
Maybe just because he's a quarterback.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's
like what? Like, bruh, like this dude was on the sideline taking selfies in the middle of a football game. Y'all, he's a captain, and that's when it was stripped. If you were a captain then, like, it should have been stripped right there. Like you shouldn't even. Let
me holler at that, because
that C is coming off. We're gonna get you a new jersey, bro. That C is coming off. You are not ready to be a captain of what? Foolery, right. Like foolishness, and you just keep proving it to be that truth. So yeah, that was interesting. Right. But okay. Yeah.
All right, let's go on to this Josh Gordon story, because we talked about this a few weeks ago. I don't think this was a who's really right, but I do think that we differed from the standpoint of what should happen with him and what
was it a good idea? I think our thing was it a good idea?
Good idea, right? Yeah. And while we met at the middle from the standpoint of like he needs to receive like true help. Yeah. Your feeling was that before we even discussed being back on the field, have you fully received true like help, and has it led to changed behavior? Yeah. And my thing was, as long as he meets those markers, you know what I'm saying, let's get him to getting back in the field, on the field. And so it sounds a lot different, but I don't think that it's totally different. Mm-hmm. I guess we could have foreseen this setback coming, but it begs the question of, are we really helping him?
That was my whole point.
Are we really helping him, right? And if the help isn't working, how hard are we, like, what are we doing? What are we doing to help him?
So this mental health thing is our shtick, right? It is our shtick. This is kind of one of the things we hang our hats on with Feels to the Real. Right. So literally, when I read this, so what we're talking about, because we didn't even say, is that Josh Gordon was set to return yesterday to practice after having been reinstated and sitting out his 14 days. And potentially even getting a chance to play on Sunday or whenever they play. Yeah. Yeah, it was that they love him like that. So yeah. But unfortunately, he didn't hold up his end of the bargain. Right. Did not meet the protocols that had been set up for him in order to remain with the team. Now, even now, I believe they said he still gets to stay with the team and practice, but he cannot participate as, on the field for an actual game. Okay. I am heartbroken by this because it means he's had a setback. And this was my whole point when we had this conversation originally. And let me be clear, because as a mental health professional, I want to make it clear that there is no such thing as being cured from mental illness. Right. There is a such thing as learning the right coping mechanisms and strategies for you when it comes to mental illness. And yes, addiction is a mental illness. And so him not addressing, or I don't know what happened. Okay, let me just disclaimer it. I don't know what was done, what he's been through, what he's been going through. Right. But what I do know is triggers and stressors make it hard to operate in our coping mechanisms. It makes it harder to think about those coping mechanisms and using those strategies and tools that we might have been given when we are in those spaces and places. And so when you add back the pressure of coming back to play the game you love, and some of the triggers and put you in that space and that place in the first place are there. It's almost like, what do they tell someone who, with our rehabilitative penal system,
right.
What do they tell them? Don't go back to the places where you were involved in those illegal and criminal activities, or hang around with those people who put you in those spaces and places in the first place. The same thing they tell an addict. Don't hang around the people. And I'm not saying that it's not possible, but he needed to be so sure.
Right.
They needed to be so sure that he was truly in a space, because it's possible. I know people who have left jail and gone right back to the hood they lived in and been able to thrive and strive because they made a decision, and they had the support, and they had the tools, and they were in a space and in a place to where they weren't going to allow those triggers, no matter what they were, to interfere with their strategies and their management of their situation, right? I'm not sure that he was in that space, in that place.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I just feel like,
I don't know what they have in place, so it's hard to tell. I do know that, some people just have triggers, and I've seen people who go 6 months, a year, a few years, and then just end up relapsing.
Slide off
And so I guess it's hard to truly know. It's hard to truly know. It's a
person by person thing. Yeah.
The one thing I'd say is maybe football is a trigger.
Possibly, and you got to be able to be
honest
enough with yourself first to say, okay, I can't do this because I love this game, but and you might be able to find another way to be involved, but just not in that way. I don't, it just breaks I literally right now I'm swallowing back because I'm swallowing it. It makes me sad.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Because the human is not being taken care of. Y'all just see the football player and the talent, and that's the problem. That's what happens with these athletes. They're just seen for what they can do, and they start to believe that's all they are.
Right. Football is what
because that's all they've been talked about and told. Everybody wants to be praised for something. And so when I'm praised for my athletics, then that's what I become. But that's not all you are.
Then when it's over, that transition becomes rough because you placed your entire identity inside of
that. Again, why we do what we do, why we want to get in here with these college students before they get to that point. Want them to know, like, you got and let me not just say, we're not just putting this on the Seahawks or the NFL. Like, again, I'm going to use the analogy of the person who is coming out of jail or prison. They have to prove that they have a support system, right?
Yeah.
You got somewhere to go. You got people on your side, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Where are those people?
Right.
As a professional athlete, that's why there's so much distrust, because they don't know who's truly for them, and who's just there for what they've got or who they are.
Right.
And so in these circumstances and situations, I don't know his family. I don't know the people who are in his circle, but somebody, if you hear me, I'm imploring you, don't just be a yes person.
Right.
Be real with him. He needs to hear the truth, whatever that truth might be. Love him enough to like, I don't know. Anyway, I could talk about this all day because this is really serious for me. But yeah. This is what I feared.
I just pray
he made it all this time, and then boom, you get back and you.
Right.
This is what I feared.
Football just really may be the trigger, but I just pray that he truly finds people who are going to be genuine about helping him kick this. If football is the trigger, I pray that he gets the peace to walk away from the game and really take care of himself. So
you first, baby. You first. You first. Real talk. You first. Okay.
All right. Let's
now I'm about to have another emotion. So y'all just give it all today.
You're gonna have to tell me about this one because I didn't actually hear Tom Brady's response. But basically on Club Shay Shay, Shannon Sharp's podcast, Tony Dungy talked about how Tom Brady wasn't one of the top, or he wasn't the top quarterback that he faced. He said that mobile quarterbacks basically were a little more of a nightmare for him. And I'm using my words, I'm paraphrasing, but mobile quarterbacks were a little more difficult for him. So obviously Tom Brady took offense to this. But what was his response? What did he say?
So I'm trying to find it, because I don't want to misquote him. Yeah. But it was something to the effect that Tony Dungy had not. He wasn't a good coach. Mm-hmm. And he had a picture of the Colts, one of their banners that I think it said, when was it, 94? Mm-hmm. When was it? I think it was 94? I can't remember. 2004? I don't remember. It might have been 2004.
Somebody the year they won the Super Bowl?
No, it wasn't the year they won the Super Bowl. It was the year that I think they played the Patriots and lost. Yeah. But they won their division. I can't. It was something along those lines. Yeah. But it was funny because what he put up, Tony Dungy wasn't the coach.
Oh no, it was 2014, I think.
Okay. I
know it was sometime after Tony Dungy.
After Tony Dungy retired. Yeah. Yes. And so he
Chuck Pagano was the coach.
So he put 2014 AFC finalists, and he said, at Tony Dungy defense put Tom Brady. And I said, who I put ahead of Tom Brady. Okay, yeah. So that's what he posted. Tom Brady posted that that shot of that, and pretty much was saying that you not even a good coach, pretty much. How do you get to don't come, listen, sir. First of all, so Tony Dungy retired in 2008. Yeah. After they won the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's what it was. Brady and the Patriots.
Was it 2008?
Yes. They won in 2007. And he retired in 2008.
Oh, wait, who was the coach? Oh, Tony Dungy was not the coach. Not Bill Caldwell, but Jim Caldwell.
Jim Caldwell
was the head coach when they lost to the Saints. Okay. All right, I'm sorry.
Said that the banner, so basically the Patriots won 45-7 in that finals. Mm-hmm. But his point was about Tony Dungy's coaching, right, which kind of missed the mark considering he wasn't the coach. But either way, he was being disrespectful, in my opinion. You can't come for listen. If you don't come for Bill Belichick, you can't come for Tony Dungy. Right. Period. And let's go back to the original point. Tony Dungy was saying, who is it hard to defend? Who are the hardest people to defend from the quarterback standpoint? He was only mentioning the people who were mobile.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you was even at number 6 is you just sit down and shut up, because
Right.
when did you ever move?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
think
now, Tom, I was trying to be on your side, bro, since you done left, the Patriots. I was like, well, he in Tampa Bay. I'm gonna give him a pass and let him just stand on his own. Like, I won't lump you because I'm not a generalization person. So I'm gonna give you a pass. I'm gonna let you. Now you about to be back in timeout because you can't talk about Tony Dungy, sir. Yeah. Sir. Yeah. There are some people that are just off limits, right. And he is one. He is one. Period.
Yeah, Tony Dungy is black excellence.
You gonna get off Tony Dungy. That's right. What I'm saying. How about that? Sorry.
Oh, I don't know why this hurt Tom Brady so much, because he could have just not responded, And I don't even know that I would have taken it as a slight. You know what I'm saying? Like
he, I'm all about making sure that you set criteria. He set a criteria for what his argument was about. It was about the fact that they were mobile. The people that he talked about were mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying, Steve Young, Aaron Rodgers, John Elway, these people moved around in the pocket, right. Or outside of the pocket.
Right.
So, bro, get out your feelings. You really think you the GOAT anyway?
Oh,
let's be that. Let's start there, because
this humble act is fake.
That it's very fake. If this tells me that it's fake.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead, talk. I'm telling you. I told you I was going to go from one emotion to the other with this one, because don't talk about Tony Dungy.
Right.
Now put the cameras on me, 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 put the cameras on me.